Good day, everyone. Welcome to the International Conference on Education and Learning Technology. The title of my keynote today is Technology in Education, Hindrance or Catalyst. I am Professor Dr. Noor Hanim Rahmat from UiTM, Malaysia. Let me do a little bit of flashback. I started teaching way back in the 1980s, all right? And back then, classrooms were very different than how classrooms are. All right, I think I have gone through many different waves of classroom changes. All right, back then, classroom were uh, chalk and the blackboard. Actually, the blackboard is not blackboard; it's green board, right? Chalk and blackboard, all right. And I used to, and students were very many during those times. Students were very enthusiastic and they were very excited to put up their hands to answer questions or to ask questions, all right. Then slowly changes takes place, and then I remember, oh yeah, we used to use then we started using whiteboards and markers, all right. And we have the overhead projectors all right. And then we have the PowerPoint and so much more, all right. So those were actually young people today will call them traditional classrooms. Interestingly, all right, although at that time it wasn't interesting, the COVID has brought waves of changes, especially in the education world. All right, I remember during those time, many of us senior lecturers we kind of panicked and we said, oh dear, we have to learn to video talk, and we have to learn to teach via video calls, right? So many things have changes over the years, and I think post COVID now, I dare to say it's post COVID era now. Even more changes has taken place, all right. We have started to get used to learning with technology, learning with the aid of screen, learning going to the we don't know we used to call it computer labs, but now it's actually with the use of technology, right? Okay. So my short keynote here will actually talk about the first one, types of technology in education. I will go on to talk about the hindrance about the technology in education. All right, then I will go on to present some interesting information about catalysts for technology in education, and I will go on to touch a little bit. I know it's very boring. I cannot help as an academician. I will touch a little bit on some of the theories or technology in education, and I hope to end this keynote by some suggestion for possible research direction if you are interested in technology in education. Okay, let's begin. All right. Okay, technology in education. I remember during those COVID days, we learned to have students attend classes with just the laptop or any mobile devices with them. All right, then they actually learn to talk to the screen. All right, and teachers will actually teach to a lot of, if you see the picture there, we teachers learn how to talk to the screen, but we can actually see our student faces. That I think is already the interesting about technology. We don't have to see our students face to face. All right. And these past few years, we have adapted to many new ways of gaining knowledge. I found this interesting picture. I was looking for a picture of waves and then going through the tunnel. All right, we are actually learning to accept the waves of changes, and we are learning to cope through the tunnel of the changes. Nice picture, actually. All right, so we learn to adjust and we learn to cope. I like that picture of the girl sitting on the books and then watching the teacher teach on the screen, because that's exactly what we are doing right now, and I think we're going to get very accustomed to it now. All right, there are many types of technology. I found these three interesting ones. All right, three forms of technology in education. The first one will be we have synchronous via and asynchronous learning. Synchronous learning means whatever that we do, excuse me, it happens at the same time, all right? We will tell our students that the class will be at 8 a.m. So the students has to open their devices, laptop, okay, and real time. So classes will be real time, and we will be on real time with our students for classes. Or we also have done asynchronous learning, means we actually record our lessons and our students watch it. They can actually they can have it on whenever they want, wherever they want, and they can use the information to interact with their fellow learners at their own time. All right, then many of our the way we teach is actually linear education. That means the course materials that we prepare is divided into a number of steps. There will be chapters, there will be modules, and the chapters and modules will be matched, or it will come with videos, all right? And but yeah, interestingly, we actually arrange them in a fixed order, okay? And then slowly, I think many of us who already started online learning, we already know that collaboration is not only possible, it is actually needed in even if it's non face to face. All right, students will get together and do group tasks, and I think more so for non face to face lesson, our students need to have collaborative learning, because I think they need to get in touch, to feel that they are actually in touch with their fellow learners as well. All right. Okay, and then there's some popular categories of some of the technologies that we are very comfortable using now. All right, students actually learn through mobile devices. All right, and I think a lot of the things that we used to only depend on our laptops, on computers, we can actually access easily through mobile devices. Although I prefer computers and tablets, but I think mobile devices will do the same thing. All right, and I think video conferencing tool, we have a lot already in the market. Many of us choose one over the other, or we change. Sometimes we use this, sometimes we use Zoom, sometimes we use Gmeet. We change from one another. There are many more coming up now, I think. And there are also interactive learning labs, and surprisingly and interestingly, not a bad thing, many academicians, many teachers have already comfortable with using social media platforms as part of the lesson, and students are beginning to actually enjoy learning through, learning from, and using social media platforms to actually either do their presentations or to get more information. However, with new things in anything, there will be some possible worries. All right, okay. I think many times when it comes to new form of learning, all right, students worry because in online non face to face learning with technology, it has helped us a lot. But I think students are already worried because suddenly, and I think even as teachers, we actually feel that we are overwhelmed with with information. We can get education anywhere and everywhere. So will our students, all right? So we are so overwhelmed with information, all right? There's some good about it and some not so good things about being overwhelmed with the accessibility of the information. All right, and also with that will be time management, because suddenly I think our students, or maybe even us teachers, we are suddenly suddenly realize that the social or the internet used to maybe give us some enjoyment, but now we also use it for information and for serious learning or working. So we need some time management there. Lack of interaction, probably. All right, we feel that we are talking to the screen, all right, like what I'm doing now, all right, and maybe reduce social circle. Yeah, I think, like, if you do a lot of online learning, although it is real time, but sometimes you feel that you don't meet people, and some people feel that when they don't meet their friends, there will be some reduced fun. Okay, it's not so fun because you don't get to talk to your friends and get to tease your friends. You don't get to interact your friends face to face. Let us look at some negative effects of technology in education. These are some that I found. I think there are more than this, all right? Number one is social isolation. I think more so, especially during the COVID and a little bit of the post-COVID time, all right? We feel that some of us has got so comfortable using technology that we tend to depend on it, and the excessive use of technology, particularly in the form of social media, can actually contribute to social isolation. We don't feel like we don't need to meet people. People may spend more time interacting online and then face to face. You see, you feel that it's so convenient. I don't need to go out, so I just do internet computer interaction, all right? Another one, it can also be privacy concerns. This digital age that we're facing right now, this technology has raised many significant privacy issues. The collection and sharing of personal data, all right, pose a lot of risk to a lot of individual privacy. All right, and also job displacement, automation, and artificial intelligence have led to concerns, the worries that there will be some jobs that are no longer available. All right, some traditional jobs may be replaced. All right, and also health issues. Prolonged screen time can pose some health issues for some people. Sedentary behavior. We don't go out and meet people. We don't walk from one room to another. We don't walk from one class to another. We don't walk from one place to another. That's sedentary, all right? So we will face some health issues, all right? Sleep patterns, sedentary lifestyle, obesity, and other related problems, all right? And cyber security threats. The interconnected nature of digital system makes them susceptible to cyber threats. Yes, hacking, identity theft, and other cyber crimes pose significant risks to individuals and also especially organizations. All right, positive. However, there are some positive effects of technology. That's why we are still doing it, although we know there are some negative effects. All right, enhanced communication. Technology has revolutionized communication. It enables insight and global connectivity. I think some of the viewers right now are different parts of the world. You may not be in Malaysia, and I am in Malaysia, all right? We communicate through email, social media, and video conferencing. I think many of us even don't realize that we are from different parts of the world. This facility is efficient and it's widespread and encourages widespread exchange of information. And next one is the access of information. The internet serves as a vast repository of knowledge. We are overwhelmed with the information, all right? There's lots of information everywhere. We can get them, all right? Okay, and it's open there. You can take whatever information that you want. Increase productivity. For many of us, technology helps us to increase our productivity. It helps us to be multitask, all right, but in a good way, all right. And for many of us is the educational opportunities. It allows us to take part in online courses, online video conferences, all right. We get more learning opportunities. So, which brings us to the question, all right, is it a catalyst? Let's look at it being a catalyst first. Let's look at the good things first. It being a catalyst, all right? We can easily get access to information, all right? And the learning is interactive and engaging. Learning is spelled wrongly there, okay? We can get engaging. Some people feel that there's no interaction, but some people feel that there is more interaction because you have easy access to communication and you can engage anytime you want with any fellow learners that you want. All right, it does help efficiency in administration. All right, everything can be properly planned. And it also helps with skill development. We will need to, we will want to, we will be encouraged to want to improve on our skill in this digital age, all right? And also flexibility of learning. This one, I'm so for it, because I think with technology in education, we can learn at any time we want, perhaps. In any method that we want. We don't have to just wait to attend higher institution of learning or schools. It can be online, all right? We can even choose how or who we want to learn with, right? So I think the flexibility of learning is, I think, very good. That will be the catalyst, all right? All right. There's some reports of, okay. Yeah. Interestingly, I'm going to share with you some reports of successful use of technology in education. Just some. I think there's so much more. All right. I think many of my fellow academicians, they are so into game based, and students. I think this young generation, they want to enjoy the lesson for them to want to learn. So they enjoy game based. All right, there's a lot of game in the classroom, whether it's even face to face. There's technology. All right, okay, and games will inflict fun in the lesson. All right, it will increase the motivation of the learners. Students will become attentive because they want to score marks at the same time. And many types of games encourage problem solving. All right, language development, they want to answer, they want to go ahead, probably they have to use the language. All right, and when they find that they have accumulated points, their self-esteem will increase, they want to do more. All right, they're happy because they have done well. Increased class cooperation, many games based are group work. All right, so they will get interested. And some even encourage memory workout when they are asked quizzes, right? And I think many games, many educators actually make sure that they use games to reach students at their level. And I think this generation, the level will be fun, engaging. All right, a little bit of chaos for them to feel that the competitiveness there. All right. However, some of the cons will be not all content. Okay, unluckily, some courses do not allow or encourage the use of games, right? All right, and some tools and equipment can be costly. For some start of students, playing games can be distracting, and changing the mood from ending the game and going back to serious learning would be a little bit difficult, and extended screen time can be bad for many learners. All right, let's look at another one. Social media, some language teachers, or even some any other courses, you can actually use social media. There's so many now. TikTok, Instagram, all right, so many more that you can use, and it can be live, right? So it enhance communication engagement, and many young learners love that. All right, they become popular. All right, they can show off their achievement and activities. Today I'm doing this, so they can share with so-called the world. All right, and whether they intend on it was intentional or not, it allows networking and professional development. However, there's some of the cons. It can be distracting. All right, it encourages distraction because they might get too carried away with the social media. There can be cyberbullying. All right, we know some of the trolls in social media. There can be security risks. And with social media, there can be a lot of disinformation. There can be some information which need not be true. So I think our learners need to learn to check on it. Don't just trust all the information. There can be actually maybe some people are not aware that a lot of the interaction in the social media can be superficial. All right, okay. A lot of the things that the people show on social media is what they want the audience to see. Okay, not maybe what they really are. So it could be social superficial interactions and lack of real life skills because they don't really interact. All right, they may not even learn real negotiation skills, for example. And some online learning, some possibilities. We have pros. Online learning, some people like online learning. all right? So social media may not be online, all right, but now online classes, flexibility, you can learn anytime and anywhere. Convenience, it might be cost effective because you don't have to travel, all right? You don't have to buy bulky books. More individual attention. You can meet. You can have social video conferencing maybe at any time that you are free. All right. Less pressure, and it's accessible to more people. Some of the cons will be lack of face-to-face interaction. All right. If you are for the face-to-face interaction where you want to see the person physically, that yes, internet technical issues, that is the major concern. Inability to focus on screens, all right, sorry, wrong spelling there, and less motivation, requires self-discipline for online learning because it's anytime. Some people will say, okay, later when I'm freer, all right, limited access to resources and support if you're not in the university physically, all right. Okay, latest, I think we are very, many of us are very interested with AI, all right, okay. We believe that for the pros, it gives us personalized learning. It improves access, administrative tasks, and it allows engagement, all right. However, some of the cons will be reduced human interaction because we know that AI is not human, all right. Although we are interacting, right? Bias, all right. Cheating, many students are doing that. I won't elaborate on that because I think many of you know what it is. Privacy risk, all right. Critical thinking, because we over rely on AI to do some of the thinking tasks, all right. Lack of empathy, because again, we're not dealing with human, all right. There are some of the possibilities. All right, with a lot of the different types of technology in education, I found this. Some possible research direction for technology in education. You can look into research that hopefully can improve engagement and motivation of learners later. You can also look into some of the possible research so that you can improve learning outcomes. You can look at some research to improve learning, to promote more 21st century skills. Something hopefully better, something different from what we have been used to traditionally, all right. Increase access to information. Look at some of the research that can improve, that can help us to cope with the challenges in the implementation of using technology in education, all right. It can also encourage us to look for better ways to look at the importance of pedagogical integration with the technology, all right. And we can also look at some of the research on concerns about screen time. Basically, there's so much more, all right. So technology in education, we're almost ending now, all right. So is it a hindrance and catalyst? Well, there are so many points for catalyst and so many points for hindrance. I just purposely draw this balance beam to show the angle, all right. Okay, I think, all right, there could be more catalysts, whether there are a lot of hindrance in the technology in education, but it's the way forward, right? Hindrance for the learners because of distraction, hindrance even in the teaching and the equipment technology, all right. But and then again, there's a lot of catalysts because of technology and education. More and more people are more interested to learn, all right, at any age, because they know of its flexibility, and the younger learners are now seeing learning is fun, all right, and it even encourage it enhance communication, all right. So hindrance or catalyst? No answer to that. That's why my title in the first screen in the first slide has got no question mark, all right. So to wrap up, we need to balance between hindrance so that researchers can proceed to find ways to improve teaching and learning using technology. Is the way to go. The findings of research can then become, you go and find and even research on the hindrance. Do more on the hindrance. Is it a hindrance? How is it a hindrance? So that it later can become the catalyst to further improve teaching and learning. I didn't give you an answer. All right. Now let's look at let's take a peep at a little bit of some of the established theories on online learning. There's so much more. All right. Constructivism. This theory suggests that if you look at the theory of constructivism, this theory believes that knowledge is created and meaning is formed based on learners' experience. So we must focus on giving learners experiences during online learning, during using technology, not only online actually, using technology, so the experiences will make them learn. All right, so that will be the students constructing learning themselves. All right, and then there's also behaviorism. This theory suggests that students' behavior is based on their interaction. They need interaction, one way or another. So behaviors are learned through with the technology, through the technology, and it is influenced by the external factors, and therefore the technology and all the other factors. Connectivism, all right, with technology in education, in online learning, all right, real time or not, all right, connectivism, all right, the factors in the learners learn through autonomy, sorry, wrong spelling there, connectedness, diversity, and openness. All right. Another theory, cognitive learning theory, suggests that learners receive e-learning containing text, and when they get the video to learn, the working memory, it is improved because they can see. All right, what they see, they can remember. Okay, that will be the cognitive learning theory, and they can actually, if it is recorded, they can forward or rewind so that they can make efforts to remember and relate it to their prior knowledge. All right, and another theory is cognitivism. This theory emphasizes facilitating learning through structured, simple, and organized presentation. All right, okay, I think with technology in education, we're able to prepare more learning materials that allows learning to be extrinsically motivated. We learn to, for example, we learn to prepare materials that reduce the cognitive overload, not too much of information at one time. All right, so that's one example of cognitivism. All right, another one is social learning theory, refers to the process of learning through observation, modeling. Believe it or not, even if through video conferencing, students actually observe the instructor's behavior, and they model and they can imitate. All right, so that's social learning theory. That's why they need to have some form of interaction in learning. This multimedia learning theory explains that we learn from pictures. All right, students learn better. That's why we have games. One example of multimedia learning, but there is a theory for it, all right, is actually by the use of games. So I give you some suggestions for topics for future research. All right, with a lot of technology in education, you can look into learning research for learning styles. You can peep into Kolb's learning style. Go read it up. VARC learning style. Go read it up. There are very interesting theories on that. All right, and there are emerging theories on student engagement. I have used references with the theory by Martin and Bolliger and Eva Garrison and Arbaugh. All right, and also look into, with technology and education, we want to encourage collaboration. That is social cognitive theory by Bandura. You can check it out, and you can look at online group work. All right, okay, by Elderbridge. All right, and you can take a look at it. Okay, there's some interesting topics that you can research in. All right, to wrap up, all right, I have touched a little bit on types of technology, the hindrance about the technology and education, the catalyst. All right, and I shared with you some theories that you can read up some more and see whether the theories that actually support technology in education. That's why technologization is the way to go, because there are many theories that support it. And I end my my keynote by sharing with you some possible direction for research. All right, I encourage academicians to go deep into future research that looks at technology and education. What area? You can look at how and why technology has improved education, how and why technology has not benefited education. All right, and you can even predict future direction in the technology of education. All right, with that, thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much. All right, okay, bye.